An anonymous actress once commented that abortions were a common form of birth control in Hollywood from the 1920s to the 1950s. While the political system in 21st century America works against women's access to abortion, in the past, abortions were easier to obtain and more widely accepted in Hollywood. This procedure was considered as routine as taking aspirin or undergoing an appendectomy. The question is, how and why did this formerly taboo and illegal practice become so commonplace, at least among certain groups? Similar to the present day, during the time of old Hollywood, men in power were the ones making decisions regarding women's bodies. These influential individuals were the heads of major motion picture studios, including RKO, Warner Brothers, MGM, and Paramount Pictures. Abortions were a crucial part of women's health maintenance, especially for those in the limelight. From the early years of the film industry in America, birth control methods such as prophylactics were just as new as the concept of movie stars themselves. These performers could quickly transform from being known as Little Mary or the Vitagraph Girl to becoming America's sweetheart or a sex goddess overnight. During the early days of Hollywood, newly wealthy men and women were overwhelmed with their newfound success, leading to reckless spending and indulging in excesses. The studio system had abolished the 19th century sexual segregation, allowing women to enter the workforce and earn large incomes they could spend on whatever they desired. This newfound financial freedom, combined with the publicity that highlighted their erotic powers, led many women to believe they were on equal footing with men. However, sparks were bound to fly, and the studios had to take corrective measures to prevent their stars from damaging their reputation with scandals. In 1922, Will H. Hayes collaborated with the studios to introduce morality clauses into the stars' contracts, mandating that any scandalous behaviour would result in dire consequences, including the termination of their contracts. It was commonly believed that having children would damage the glamorous image of the stars and negatively affect their box office appeal. Bette Davis faced a heart-wrenching decision when she chose to forego starting a family in order to pursue her acting career. As the sole breadwinner for her mother, sister and husband Harmon Nelson, whom she married in 1932, Davis knew that having a child would have jeopardized her acting opportunities. She revealed that if she had become pregnant in 1934, she would have missed out on the chance to play the unforgettable role of Mildred in Of Human Bondage, which earned her first Oscar nomination. The thought of missing out on other iconic roles such as Jezebel, Judith, Elizabeth, Charlotte and Margot Channing must have weighed heavily on her mind. Despite her success, Davis could not help but wonder what life could have been like if she had chosen to start a family earlier. It wasn't until later in life that she had 3 children, but one can only imagine the bittersweet feelings she may have had about her decision. After enduring years of prioritizing her career over starting a family, Bette Davis was overjoyed when she finally welcomed her first child, Barbara Davis Sherry, at the age of 39. She was immensely proud of the fact that she could have a baby and continue her career, despite having had abortions earlier in her life. This accomplishment held a special place in her heart because her mother had always insisted that she couldn't have both. Davis had proved her wrong and could not stop reminding her mother of her achievement. The birth of her child was a source of great happiness for Davis and validated her belief that she could balance her love for acting and motherhood. Click here to watch this video next.